Hey guys, Tarke here, and we're with the final Overwatch Hero Spotlight of the day with Genji, aka Green Ninja, aka Not Quite Green Jesus, aka Not Hanzo. So everyone thought this was Hanzo in disguise. It's not, it's his brother. Now the two brothers actually have quite a lot of interesting lore, which I'll touch on quickly and then get into the abilities afterwards, so just bear with it. So basically, the backstory behind these two is they were part of a Shimada clan, or the Shimada clan, which was this big crime syndicate, kind of think of like the Yakuza. Now, their father was the leader of the clan, and when their father died, Hanzo, who was the eldest, was put in charge. But before he could take power, the elders of the clan wanted him to deal with his younger brother Genji, who was a bit of a philanthropist, dealing with kind of like, imagine Batman if he wasn't Batman, so just a bit of a party boy, doing stuff being reckless, whatever. Yeah, not really good if you're a crime syndicate. Don't know where the Batman came from, but anyway, just run with it. So they send Hanzo, say, go deal with your brother. They have a massive fight, and Hanzo stabs him. Slightly over the top reaction, but, you know, whatever. So Genji is left dying, I'm imagining in the snow, because why not? And then who comes up to him but Overwatch, and they patch him up. They give him this new cybernetic body, and he's basically a cyborg at this point, and they say, look, we've given you this new body, you now need to help us take down the Shimada clan. We've been wanting to take them down for ages. Genji's kind of like conflicted. His brother's just killed him. Now he's like come back with this cool robot body thing, and he goes on a slaughtering rampage and then basically becomes something of a hermit. Now, during his traveling hermit days, he runs into who else but Zenyatta, the hermit robot monk. One of my favorite heroes in Overwatch, incidentally. But, so, he finds inner peace with this guy, surprise, surprise, and learns to embrace his cybernetic duality and his human ninja origins, and becomes a wandering adventurer, helping out Overwatch from time to time. So you kind of have all this quite cool backstory between the two. The reason why there is this very close backstory is originally Hanzo was going to be like the be-all, end-all of ninjas. He had a bow, he had a samurai sword, he had shuriken, he had everything. But the Blizzard guys thought this was a little too much, so they wanted to separate it into two separate heroes. Now, if we look here at the original Hanzo concept on the left, and you look at Genji and Hanzo next to each other, you can kind of see how this happened. I'll quickly turn off my camera so you can get a full image of original Hanzo, just for a bit. So you can see very cool little stuff here, very, very nice. Now, the thing with Overwatch is they wanted very strong character design, and people like ninjas. So when someone at the team said, well, why don't we just make two ninjas and separate the kits between it, they leapt on it, and that's where this whole massive backstory came from. Incidentally, and I've heard this a few times over the space of the Overwatch panel, Hanzo is actually the better swordsman, but he was so tormented by believing that he killed his brother, he turned down the sword for life, hung it up on its mantle, and took up the bow. So, yeah, pretty cool, pretty incidental. Now that that lore stuff's out of the way, let's get to what you're actually interested in, the abilities. Now, for my previous two spotlights, I've spent ages taking screenshots and screenshots and screenshots, but Blizzard has just uploaded the actual character abilities, so we're going to jump to that now. So here we are, and we have Shuriken, Deflect, Swift Strike, and Dragon Blade. Ooh, pretty. Now, Shuriken. Genji loses 3 deadly throwing stars in quick succession. Alternatively, he can throw 3 shuriken in a wider spread. So you can kind of go for a single target pew pew pew, or you can kind of go for a cone ability if you're not too keen on your aim. Let's get a look. So as you can see, straight line, and then here we go. Get the opposing views of it. Pretty cool stuff, right? Interesting. So then we go into the second ability, which is Deflect. With lightning quick swipes of his sword, Genji reflects an oncoming projectile and sends it rebounding towards his opponent. Now this is a really fun ability. The thing which I really like about this ability is it will be an amazing skill ceiling. The people who are good at this are going to be really good at this. So let's see how it works. That's cool. And you literally reflect it straight back so you can use it to get killing blows. How cool is that? That's awesome in my mind. 10 out of 10 Blizz. Well played. There are going to be loads of highlight reels just because of this ability alone. So we then get on to Swift Strike. Genji darts forward, slicing the air with his katana and passing through foes in his path. After the initial strike, his target begins to bleed and take additional damage over time. If Genji eliminates the target with this ability, he can instantly use it again. Right, a few things we need to cover, which were mentioned in the panel but aren't mentioned here. Now, when you say dart forward, you can aim this like upwards, and you can use it to snipe people in the air, which is really cool. So you can be like a ninja, leap up, kill a tracer midair, kill Pharah, kill whoever, land, get a reset, go off, kill someone else. Just really cool ability. Well played, Blizz. Look at it here. Again, you sort of just like leap through, and that dot ticking is the bleed effect. Pretty cool. So yeah, we're going to have some pretty crazy combos where a skilled Genji player will start off the team fight. He throws his shurikens, does some deflects, darts forward, maybe does another deflect, darts forward, just, it's going to be cool, it's going to be fun. You can also use this as an escape, which will be quite good because you go through enemies. So what you can do is you can use it to get through choke points potentially. You could use it on a Bastion to get through him and behind and completely wreck his shield. So yeah, this will be a pretty hard counter to Bastion, I believe. And this is the ultimate. Genji brandishes his katana for a brief period of time until he sheaths his sword. Genji can deliver killing strikes to any targets within his reach. Pretty cool. I also really like how this mirrors Hanzo ultimate with the giant dragon arrow. Instead we have a giant dragon sword. Let's look at the really over-the-top visual. Yeah. Pretty cool. Now, one thing to note here is that the whole design behind Genji was they wanted this sword play. But as I said on the panel, they originally struggled with making a pure, like, sword-based character work and feel engaged without being either incredibly underpowered or incredibly overpowered. So the core sort of basis is that you have the shuriken as sort of your go-to, so it's like pew 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 pew. Those are your main sort of attacks. So you have the left click will be your throw in a straight line, then the right click will be the cone ability. Then you have the deflect and the swift strike, and the swift strike is kind of like your mobility / one-shot potential if they're kind of low. And then the ultimate is where the real sort of fantasy of being, you know, a master swordsman comes into play. You go ham sandwich, and the way that it reads and the way that I believe it works from the way they described it in the panel is that when you're doing your fancy wavy stuff, you cannot use your other abilities. So you do your sort of like Dragon Ball Z charge up, you then slice everything, and then if you want to get out of the fight or you want to use something else, you then need to sheath your sword and go back to using your normal attacks. So we quite a lot of interesting counterplay, a lot of skill cap to working exactly when you want to go from one ability to another. Basically, really exciting hero. I love the lore aspect of it, and yeah, this is the new DPS in Overwatch. Now, if you haven't seen my previous 2 Overwatch Spotlight videos, I cover both Mai, which is the new support hero, and D.Va, the new tank, in quite great depth, so I recommend you check them out. I've been Tarke, thanks for watching, have a good day, and bye-bye.